Have you ever questioned the concept of being able to talk to your kids about politics? How do you pick a side? How do you make sure that you're talking to them right? How do you educate your kids when it comes to talking about politics? This is an issue that we all have as parents, and this is something that you might be wanting to know the answer to. Please watch this short video. Hello, everyone. I am your host, Chananya Abraham. I've been a psychotherapist over 17 years and specializing specifically in the relationship between teens, the outside world, and their parents. And hopefully we can get to a place where we like our children as much as we love them. So today we're going to be talking about a topic of politics, one that around the dinner table or during the holidays can be really, really stressful when it comes to sharing our opinions. But today we're going to be focusing specifically on the topic of how to talk to your kids about politics. But we're going to break it down to three very important things when it comes to politics: how to talk to your kids and how to make sure that they are able to understand and comprehend this specific and very important issue. We want to make sure that we're giving it over to them properly. So the first thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to politics is help your kids understand and teach them the concept of values. And it's not about partisanship. When we talk about principles like responsibility, truth, fairness, when we are able to talk to our kids that politics is fundamentally about how we organize society to ensure that everyone has an equal right to democracy, to live their life. That is what we want to be able to give over to our kids. We want to be able to have a discussion about justice, kindness, and the dignity of every single individual. And they should be seeing these values not as a platform for division, but as a way to enhance and bring unification. It's not about which party is right, but it's about helping the poor, protecting the weak, protecting the environment around us, and ensuring that there is fairness amongst everyone. We're going to have different opinions. That's okay. But make sure that there is a reason and an agenda behind specifically the fairness and being able to have an understanding of both sides of the argument. Values. Back to number one rule. Teach about the concept of values. Rule number 2. Teach about the importance of listening and creating dialogue. There's always going to be situations or specific conversations that they're not going to be able to have an opinion or they don't have one yet. Teaching them the concept of something we've talked about here in this room and we talk about in my practice a lot. A, B, C. Always be curious. So if someone has an opinion regarding how something should be done and they share and they have a very strong feeling about it and they say, this is the way it's supposed to happen. Why do they feel that way? How do they get to that place of having that opinion? We want to be able to engage with honest and open and fair dialogue. Make sure all sides are able to go ahead and have the microphone, so to speak. Our children should understand that there are multiple ways to look at something. Most things, especially when it comes to politics and most worldviews, it's not black and white. There are so many different nuanced things. Make sure they understand that there are two sides to everything. And that's why this is rule number 2. There is disagreement that's going to happen as long as it's for the greater good. And there's an understanding that there are reasons why we do things. There are reasons why there is money pumping into society and why we have research and why we have different values and why different people do different things. And everyone deserves a right to be heard. So we want to be able to teach the concept of dialogue. And that's really important when it comes to politics. Teach them the concept of why do people have different opinions? Why do people have different values? And how do they see things differently? What is it about their background that is making them think this way? And that's something that we can teach them. Always be curious. So rule number 2, one more time, teach the importance of listening and creating open dialogue. And rule number 3, and this is probably the most important one, but also one that we have a really big responsibility as parents, teach them how they can make a difference. Every single thing that we do has an impact on everything around us. It's not about the big changes. It's about the small little things. Being able to show that the small things that they do, from picking up garbage that didn't make it into the garbage can in the park, from donating a certain percentage of their lemonade stand, by empowering our children and showing them that they can contribute, that they can make a difference. We're showing that politics is not about what's happening over there in the Capitol building, but it's about what's happening in our house and what we do. When we teach them that we can can repair this world and we can make a difference. No matter how small we think this little thing may be, by just collecting toys in our school so that we can bring to the hospital has such a big impact on every single thing out there. When we talk about community, when we talk about local initiatives that they might take, every single thing makes a difference and their participation is important. So that's rule number 3. Show how they can make a difference. So we have 3 things that are really, really important to remember when it comes to talking to our kids about politics. Rule number 1, start with values and show them the importance of having 2 sides and understanding everything that's happening. Rule number 2, the importance of listening and creating open dialogue. And rule number 3, show them that they can make a difference. I want to add one more thing that I think is really, really important here. It's very important that we do not bash the other side. Make sure that just because we don't agree with that person that's talking on the television or on our phone, that we don't say, oh my God, they don't know what they're talking about, because that has an impact. When we throw down the local politicians, when we throw under the bus a teacher or some authoritarian figure, that has such an impact on our kids, because you know what they do? They start saying, oh, they don't know what they're talking about. And they take that in. They look at themselves now. It's like, oh, my dad's bashing that political figure, so that means I can bash my teacher or my principal. They model everything that we do at home. So make sure that you don't throw anyone under the bus, because our kids are going to be able to see that and they're going to mimic us. Everything that we do, they see, and they are going to take action on. If you like this video, if you have other ideas for videos, please like and subscribe and post a comment below. If there are more questions that you might have that you want to reach out to, please click on a link to book an appointment. I look forward to hearing from you soon. I'm Chananya Abraham, and this is Parenting is Easy channel.